Thank you for joining the WWSD podcast. We are sponsored by Collectors Maze. You can find them at collectorsmaze.com for all things related to fandom, related to comics creators, movies, television, cosplay, podcasts, and much more. I am Josh. As always, I'm joined by Seamus and Kyle. And tonight we have a special guest. We have Keith, the owner of Collectors Maze. He's here to tell us all about it. How's it going, Keith?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Great. It's all right. It's Saturday, so can't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely gotta love the weekend.
So Keith, we brought you on tonight to kind of tell us about the Collectors Maze. I mean, we've been in partnership now for a few weeks, but our listeners don't really know, and I know you don't really have a good video on your website to share, so I figured this would be a good collaboration piece. Well, I like to call it a puff piece, where it's going to be all good stuff, so definitely for you to show off a little bit and definitely get some people hooked in on your services and what you are offering. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of take over.
Well, I'm Keith, definitely the per se webmaster, if you want to call it, of Collectors Maze. We are a online Comic-Con experience, and within that, you literally do experience almost every bit of what you would experience at a con. And nowadays, what better than to get that experience, considering everybody is definitely at home and not getting that con life like they used to have. So you'll get our promotion of the cosplayers. We've got incredible vendors, artists, we've got photographers, we've got writers, we've got crafters. We are definitely out to build such a great community for what's out there and just pull people in to get the experiences that they're definitely missing out on, and that will continue on yearly. It's not a one-time event to where we have to go and meet for a weekend or something. So it's such a vast and yet growing experience right now for us. There's a lot of things coming for sure. So
yeah, I'm sure with the pandemic business is what you would say booming for you in the online Comic-Con industry.
It doesn't hurt. It's definitely been with every bit of social media postings and pulling in, and then the reach outs for people that don't get seen at all, from this last year alone, that got this incredible cosplay put together, but the only time they're able to show it's online. Well, we've been able to reach out and definitely pull in to per se enhance or at least get more eyes on such incredible work and such incredible people, and on top of that, just getting to reach out and still do the celebrity aspect and get the comic creators involved, and do interviews and stuff like that with them. So yeah, it's helped by all means, but yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of great things.
So how did you get started with the idea of Collectors Maze? Like, what made you want to do it? Like, what's the history of it?
I am a big geek. Years ago, yeah. It's a great place to be, man. It's definitely great people, and for me, it's been. I think I attended my first con with my daughter probably about 7 years ago, and she wanted to dress up. She got her cosplay outfit. We got it together. It was a local con. We went, and she won her cosplay contest, which was she was Domino on that one. Nice. No, Storm. Sorry, she was Storm.
Okay.
Storm from X-Men, and we actually created lightning gloves, which were really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she did so well, and she loved it so much that, me going around and visiting with the vendors and the comic creators that were brought in, I was like, man, this is home. This is what I've always been a part of. I grew up with the right movies and the right, comics and education and stuff like that, as far as being engulfed in pretty much the atmosphere and community that, come years later for this last year alone, it was, it's kind of like one of those, I want to do something. I want to create something. How how much this community has been a big part of my life, I would like to, in a way, give back. So last February, I started Collector's Maze. We started reaching out. We got interviews lined up pretty much immediately, which was awesome. We've met some pretty cool people, as I have pictured behind, Daniel Pacina and Jeffrey Blake, Erica Milsom. I mean, just it's endless. The people we've talked to, the cosplayers and the creators and the crafters that we've been able to reach out to and pull in, really just keeps hitting home for me. It's just building that community that like I said, I've been a part of for years, and to now give back in a way and to do what I can to showcase these people and honestly just geek out every day. I mean, it's just, I think that's the biggest joy of it all, is there's not a day that passes that I don't say, man, I'm bored, or I'm without being me. And I think that's the big emphasis of it. I'm home. It's a great place and a great feeling.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. So what do you plan to do this year? Like, how are you gearing up to kind of expand? I'm assuming expansion is the goal, but what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, so podcast was really at the top of the list, and here we are. We've got an incredible team that we collaborated with now, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. That was definitely hitting a different type of audience. That was definitely one of our top goals, was to be able to reach a different media that we didn't have yet our feed in quite yet. So podcast was definitely there. We are trying to definitely have more potential live events. Last year we did host a signing here locally in town with Dominic Pace from Mandalorian. He came around and did a signing to promote his character. Well, he's actually coming back around again for another tour. We've got him already scheduled for June 27th this year to do another, because he's got a comic book that's going to be coming out with the character now. So looking very forward to promoting that, but potentially doing some more live events. I know with the pandemic and everything else still going on, cons may or may not be back open. So it's definitely a kind of play by ear when it comes to a lot of that, just because of course, the constant safety protocols that have to be met and stuff like that. In all honesty, I think one of our other big events, or per se goals this year, is to definitely reach more on our book drive. We have an all year round book drive that we do. We put together books, or like these big boxes with about 20 plus books, and we ship out across the nation to a lot of families that more say just don't have the means, and especially with pandemic wise, that don't have the means to get books for their kids. We provide hopefully a good avenue for that. And we had an incredible donation this last year. I've got boxes and boxes of books that I can't wait to rebox, make sure they're clean, good to go, and then just get out to these kids. We highly promote reading in our household, and with comics and love and stuff like that, that's always been a part of my life. So of course it's nice to give where we can, and that's a huge push for us this year as well. But yeah, it's
really cool, man.
It's one of the biggest joys. I mean, I get to sit down with my youngest kids and read, and my wife reads, and loves to read tremendous, these incredible books and stuff. And she sits down with my kids and just it's a huge passion in our household, across the board, all of my kids and everything. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely another one of those hit home kind of things. So literacy and just getting a book in a hand, there's an event I want to try to build and stuff for this year. a lot of details to work out by all means in that regards. So that's, that's a good goal. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, it's definitely just bringing in more people. It's definitely reaching out, getting more interviews done, and then still bringing in, the cosplayers, the artists, the crafters, the podcasters, YouTubers, and just let them know that we've got a community that they're more than welcome to be a part of. I reach out and we just keep getting the emails flooding in, and we're posting up all these great new people that are joining us, and that's what I want. I mean, I want to see it build, so I want to see that love of what we have and what everybody's always been a part of, but just doesn't know about us yet. I want to get the word out and let it definitely highlight we're here. So it's a big,
awesome.
big part.
Yeah.
So what would be like your long-term goal then? Do you want to like actually host your own Comic-Con, like the Collectors Maze Con? Like, is that like your ultimate goal? Like where you just have like a massive thing like that? Or like where are you looking to go?
Well, it's funny because I get asked that, actually quite a few times. Do you want to host your own con? And I don't know. It would be cool. Don't get me wrong. To be like, what, all these people that are on our page and on our deal, come join us. Just I've got this vast building. It's emptied out. I've got tables. I got chairs. Just come and join. Just make a big event. I guess the biggest thing I see on that is that I've never wanted to be on the management side because I'm too much of a goer at it. I am too much of an attendee and an experienced type of guy. So it's like, I want to be on the other side of the table. So it's as much as it would be cool to host it. And in all reality, like I said, when I say even hosting live events, as like small groupings of like, I've got some really cool voice actors I've been talking to about coming and doing an event with us and stuff. Doing those, I think, is more manageable for me, mostly just because it's a few people compared to like, I've got to fill this huge building with what? So it's for us, I think the overall goal is literally just being at events. I think it's nothing for me. It would be easier and a more enjoyable to just be a booth at a con. I've got actually approval from some local cons to actually per se do a mini con at a con. I have ideas of getting these incredible people we promote to come and join us and not just be a single vendor per se, but to have a celebrity with us, a comic creator with us, a cosplayer with us, and give you what we are indeed is the Comic-Con experience just at our booth. You don't have to walk around and get a subsection of aisles of comic creators to go to, or go over to the booths of the cosplayers, or get in line and wait for hours for, well, I mean, maybe hopefully for our celebrities, that we have with us or whatever the case is. But to provide that one full experience at even just one booth, I think that would be incredible. Because you're too all over the place, I think, at sometimes at conventions, and it is definitely subsection to advocate the vendors and the creators and stuff like that. But for me, we're all in one place. We're online. You can by a click be on the next page and experience different things. And I think that's what I want to bring to a booth is just you get everything. You get the
one-stop shop.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, and that's, I think that's kind of a push I'm trying to do at a convention. But I mean, it's just, again, growth. I don't ever want it to stop. I think with advancing technology and stuff like that. People are just going to find new ways to create these incredible pieces of work and stuff. And I want to be there to showcase it and be like, man, watch these people. Look at what I get to sit back and enjoy and what I know about, but I get to now bring to the table and show you guys, you know. And I think it's never ending. And I don't want it to be never ending. So yeah, it's a tough. If you got a big building, you guys are willing to work. I mean, we can try it, but you know.
We're also in that sense, we don't really want to deal with the management side of it. Like we kind of just want to show up, blast some finger guns, shake some hands, and call it a day.
Oh wait, so I got to wait in line for a picture. Okay, I can do that, but wait, I got to run the pictures. I got to set this up, get the times. No, I'll leave that for somebody else.
Yeah. All right, cool. You guys have any questions you want to ask Keith and or the Collector's Maze?
I'll just say, like, I've like we've really enjoyed working with you so far, and we're excited for the things to come. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you guys. I mean, truly, it's been for the few weeks. I mean, just talking with you guys, you know, the interviews you guys picked up and stuff, you know, that it helps out a lot. And you know, as I said, podcast was definitely on our list, and you know, with you guys reaching out and you know us going back and forth and talking about things, it really means a lot. And so I thank you guys more than anything, truly.
I think like hearing you like your mission and your goals, like I think your heart's in the right place. I had a blast with the last interview we did with Mike. If that's any type of foreshadowing for what we're going to do with the future interviews, I think 2021 is going to be absolutely freaking amazing.
We have a huge list of amazing people, from comic creators, from old school storyboard artists. I mean, we got a He-Man storyboard artist on there. We've got some puppeteers. We've got so many incredible voice actors. We got great cosplayers that are just ready to, you know, to say who they are, you know, and not just a picture show, you know, to give a voice to what they love and their passions. Man, I tell you, we've got a huge lineup, and it's just the list will ever be growing. So yeah, it's a lot of incredible, great people. Truly honored to even have them be a part of this. So
yeah, like great. Even like texting Mike the other day, I'm just like, I'm literally texting this guy. Like, this is awesome.
yeah.
I tell you, this is my life now.
I felt, in all honesty, I felt the exact same way with Daniel Pesina. He was one of the original guys from Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage, Sub-Zeros, you know, he did, I mean, the ninjas. He was Johnny Cage on the arcade games, man, and just sitting there and texting with him, and I'm like, hold on a second, I got this guy's number. You know, I can talk to this guy. Or just, you know, there's so many comic creators that I just, even through Facebook, you know, message and stuff, and I'm like, is this real? You know, it's just these people. I mean, I've got incredible work from Todd Aaron Smith, and he was actually one of the very first people to ever animate Harley from the Batman animated series, because he was on the storyboard work. He did a lot of that stuff, and sure enough, he sent me down a Harley that he drew based off the old animated series, and I'm like,
that's so cool.
Wait a minute, you know, this is it's very surreal. It's just, like I said, I'm so much on the other side of the booth that it's been, you know, waiting in line and get to see who I can with the right experiences, the local experiences and stuff like that. And now with this, it's just been, I can talk to anybody almost, you know, once they reply. But yeah, it's just like, I can literally reach out and be like, I would love to talk to you. I'd love to interview with you. And then as soon as I get that message back, I'm giddy. I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's very cool to be like, man, Yeah, so I mean, I got some directors I talk to. You know, I got some
No big deal.
comic
No big
creators.
deal.
Yeah, it's cool. You know,
Start casually
it's
name dropping
nothing big,
people.
but,
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
I text Johnny
it's
Cage
funny
every
you say
now
that
and
'cause
then. No big deal.
my I know there's like times where my coworkers are like, okay, who'd you talk to this time? But you know, because I it's that experience, and even my family's like, hold on, what you did what? You know, it's who you haven't come down and hang out with us and have dinner? Hold on, what? You know, it's like, yeah, it's been such a great experience, and as much fandom as I have for just, you know, the movies and comics, I mean, I am full on geek, man. It's just every aspect, soundtracks. I mean, I listen to just instrumental stuff and just, you know, get so in depth into movies, and those passions. It's just to be able to talk to these people is just like, you are my childhood. You've been so much of my life that I can't believe I'm talking to you. So it's really cool. And then again, with all these, you know, I see this artwork being posted up, you know, through Instagram or social media or through Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and all these independent comic creators that are coming up and be like, hey, look at this work, because they're trying to promote it, you know, just through social media. And I'm looking at going, well, I can't draw stick people, but this is incredible. You know, this is some fascinating work. Can I help you in a way? And can you come on to, you know, our side as an artist? And when they say yes, it's like, man, that touches me, because this incredible field, this incredible community, as I continue to say, and it really is just, we're strong people, and we're always there for each other. And I think that's the best part. And for me to give this kind of outlet, I think is more than anything that I've been wanting to push for. You know, I've seen it all. I've experienced it, and, you know, enjoyed so much. But, you know, it's kind of like, how do I step this up? You know, how do I show my love for this passion? It's like, promote. You know, just get these people out there. Get this chance. You know.
that's the cool thing, because like you're sharing this with other people. Like you can take those emails, and those are your emails. You don't have to tell anyone about it. You don't have to show those interviews with other people. Like that's for everyone else to enjoy as well. And that's like the Mike D's interview we did. It's like, it meant a lot to us personally. Like us three, like it was probably like one of the coolest things we've ever done in our life. But then we get to share it with other people, and it's
Right.
like, that's so much cooler. Like, so you watched it and you're like, wow, this is really, it's meant a lot to me. Like, especially when he did his whole like ending statements, and it's like, it actually moved you, and like other people are going to experience that as well. And like,
Right.
I think that makes me more about than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest highlights for doing even just the interviews with anybody we put on the page. You know, I want to not just, you know, promote these incredible people with all the subsections we have, but I truly want to hear their words. I want to know what their passions are. We have come across, you know, by all means, some language barriers, to where a lot of things would have to be like a written per se interview, but that's still on the table. That's still the option to know more about these incredible people, and to, you know, give more voice, and, you know, give the availability for them to, you know, have an outlet to say it, you know. So yeah, I tell you, like I said, the list is endless. We've got 60 plus already on the interview list as it is, with 30 plus more that I've already known about. We're really good friends with a lot of comic creators, especially through like Scout Comics, a lot of independent titles. We got some really cool Marvel and DC people lined up. Man,
If you give me Jim Lee, like Jim Lee is top of my list right now. So
oh man, yeah, that I'm reaching, man. Trust me, there's people that I've reached out to. I mean, you talk about MCU actors and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, if you, like, I used to post, we have this incredible team, which you guys are a part of, you know, now as well. But in our chats and stuff like that, I actually screenshotted like just my Instagram, reach outs. And the list was so endless that everybody was like, do you have a life? Do you,
Knock it
do
off.
anything else? Like, are you really bugging this many people? It's like, yeah, I'm reaching out, because if I don't even attempt, it's kind of like that missed opportunity you always question. But I'm like looking at all these movies and stuff, and I'm like, I'd love to interview that person. I'd love to talk to this person. Now we're playing the waiting game. So now it's like, okay, no, well, I'll see. I'll message again in a few months. Let's see what happens. But
and that's the cool thing. Like the bigger we get, like as like a unit, like we'll have more of that reach. We'll be able to get like more of those, like, I hate to say like bigger actors, but bigger names and whatnot. But like we'll have more of that opportunity and be able to share that opportunity with other people, which is awesome. Like.
Right. Yeah. And that, I think that's the biggest thing. It's in the word of mouth is huge. And so the more people you reach out to, the more media aspects you give. And again, with all these incredible people that we post on our page, that one time they even say retweet or repost on Instagram, or even share on their Facebook page saying, hey, thanks Collectors Maze for posting us on here. That one time gets us so many more views than we ever had before. And so getting that opportunity for other people to be like, wait, what's Collectors Maze? And they just click and they look and they're like, wow, okay, this is cool. That's what really helps. And so, yeah, getting to the higher profile names, or, other people that you really want to kind of see and interact with. Like I said, our list right now is just phenomenal people. And it's going to be always, incredible people. So it's one of those, I'm never not in awe. It's literally an eye-opening experience every time, like I said, someone says yes. And that goes for anybody. Anybody on our website, anybody I reach out to, my heart like just skips a beat every time. It's like, yes, that's what I love to see. So a lot of passion, man. It's definitely there.
No, definitely. I think it's what a lot of people gravitate towards, is like, you have that passion. You have like, you want to keep sharing, you want to keep growing the community, you want to encourage people to keep contributing art. I know we already talked about Mike Diesel a little bit, but like his big thing at the end was he cares about the art more than anything. And like, you care about the art and you care about sharing the art with people. And like, that's just so powerful. And like, that's why I really like you. And that's why we gravitated towards you and your site, is just because you're into what we're into, and you want to keep getting more people into it. And like, it's just such a powerful thing.
Yeah, my daughter will tell me and vouch and be like, yeah, my dad got me into comics, and she's collecting all these Storm comics, and then she's done cosplay, and she's done that kind of stuff, and marrying with my wife, and now we've got two littles within our marriage, and her kids that are now definitely my kids. I mean, we've got 5 kids in the house, and I get to expand my geekiness. Yeah, my That's geekiness, cool. Man, is just it's like overloading in the house now. My wife's now collecting. She's got all these incredible comics and stuff, and we've had great experience at conventions together and stuff. And it's just the love of the household and the love that I've been able to bring of comics and movies, and just the geeky community in general. I want to showcase, and I want more eyes on it. I want more people to be aware of it, and we're taking over, man. It's just there's a whole lot more of us out there, and with every reach out, with every connection that we've made, the community just gets that much stronger and that much more love, honestly. And I think that's the best part of it. Disa talked about the love of art, in that interview, and it hit, man. It's what we strive to share. It's definitely what have I experienced to what we can then move on, what we can show others. And so, Collectors Maze is all full of that, man. We want you to see these incredible people, and we'll continue to push and promote and, make our social media post, and we'll get our interviews, and we'll reach out to everybody and anybody we can. Because that's what we are. It's just, we are a community. We are very much open arms. Let's be something together. Let's not have individuals that don't get the voice or don't get this, the opportunity to be shown and even a light shine on them for any bit of moments. Let's be part of a great community together. So, yeah.
Oh.
All right. You definitely have the heart in the right place, and you got us all fired up. So
Yeah.
let's I got a couple quick questions. Seamus, Kyle, do you have any other major questions for Keith, or can we go into the lightning round?
We can go to the lightning round. I'm good.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Keith, Marvel or DC?
Ooh, Marvel, man.
All right. What's your favorite MCU movie then?
That's tough. I mean, Endgame Part 2 had to be, because in all honesty, who didn't cry when those portals started opening, man? Who didn't feel the full, like, in the gut build up and be like, yes, and then it's bad because I've watched that movie a few times and had a pause because I'm like pinpointing all the characters I know. And so, yeah, I would have to say Endgame Part 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, for real, it was definitely a tearjerker. What's your favorite comic? What's your favorite comic to read?
Man, I am all over the board on that. I grew up collecting Uncanny X-Men like crazy, so I did a lot of like starting around 400 and picking up, and I'm now less than like 30 issues away from owning a whole set. So like that whole run was big for me, and it's a lot of issues. But I've kind of leaned more towards a lot of Spider-Man stuff. So
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man has definitely been kind of like the forefront on a lot of my material lately. Yeah, he's kind of like my favorite character now. So
What's your favorite movie?
favorite Spider-Man?
No, it's a movie in general.
Oh man. Okay, kind of getting a little old school, but Tombstone, man. Tombstone's always going to be in my top 5.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, I always forget how long that movie is until I rewatch it. I'm like, fuck, this movie's so long. I'm sorry, I tried not to curse.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no, I grew up in Arizona and stuff like that too, so I've actually been there.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, Tombstone, it's just kind of one of those, like, if I see it, even just a snippet on TV, I'm like, I'm back at the couch. We're
locked in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know you say your daughter cosplays, but I don't know if you cosplay, but do you have like an ultimate cosplay goal? Who would be your favorite thing to cosplay as if you had unlimited money, unlimited time? Where would you be? Or who would you be? I mean,
it's funny because wife and I kept working on Ash and Bob from Overwatch, and me being Bob.
Okay.
So me being this big old robot carrying a stop sign if I need to. I don't know, but yeah, that's been one of my that's one of our ones we've talked about probably, I think, a little bit more often than not. But yeah.
Okay. Well, Keith, it's been a pleasure having you on. I do appreciate you coming on. Let's interview you, and I hope everyone can kind of get the message for Collectors Maze. You guys are awesome. Your site's awesome. The community you guys are building is awesome. We're super psyched to be here. If you want to go ahead, blast your Twitter or whatever, go ahead. This will be the time.
Yeah. Of course, collectorsmaze.com website. We're on Facebook under Collectors Maze. We're on YouTube channel for our interviews and all of our video media. So that's under Collectors Maze as far as tag. Twitter, we're actually at Maze Collectors, as well as on Instagram, it's at Maze Collectors. But yeah, I mean, you go to the website, you can get a link to everything and every bit of what we're part of. And of course, your podcast, anything we've got going with you guys, definitely follow the podcast as well. And you'll hear some incredible interviews that you guys are doing with us as well. So
awesome.
Yeah. As always, we're the WWSD podcast. You can find us at wwsd.simplecast.com. You can find us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Stitchers, and every other major podcast streaming service. And it's been a real pleasure, Keith. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Keith.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.